Welcome to episode 8 of OTD, your daily dose of soccer history by 17 Laws Guy. It's been a week since we launched this podcast. Thank you to those who have supported so far. Keep it coming, and please subscribe, rate 5 stars, and please share the podcast with people you know, and with those you don't. Today is November 8, 1968. We're in Omdurman, Sudan, under floodlights that make the dust sparkle. It's the CAF, the African Football Federation, road to Mexico in 1970. Sudan and Zambia have just played 180 minutes of football and scored the same number of goals. The way it's settled, a rule so small you might miss it. First leg was played October 27, 1968 in Lusaka. Zambia defeated Sudan by 4-2. Brilliant and breathless, and it puts all the pressure on the return. The second leg, on this day, November 8, 1968 in Omdurman. After 90 minutes, it's 3-1 to Sudan. No away goals rule here, so into 30 minutes of extra time. Zambia reduces Sudan's lead, and then, in the 114th minute, Osman Santo writes the line that matters, and Sudan gets their fourth. Same 4-2 as in Lusaka and 6-6 on aggregate. Now get this. The competition bylaw says the team with most goals in the second match goes through. Not away goals, not a replay, not lots, simply who did more on the second leg. The whole stadium understands the math before many in the press do. Why did this tiny rule exist? CAF was still iterating formats and tiebreakers in the 1960s. Replays, neutral playoffs, and yes, drawing lots or coin tosses were all in the mix. Here, the drafters preferred a neat, immediate decider from within the two-leg frame. It feels odd to modern ears. We instinctively reach for away goals or penalties. But on this night, clarity wore green. Sudan's late surge in extra time became a tiebreak all by itself. So was this a better way to settle the tie? Well, it certainly avoided a lot of bureaucracy. No drawing of lots in a back room. No third match days later. No appeals. 2 legs, same aggregate. The second leg output breaks the tie. Is it fairer than away goals or a shootout? Reasonable people disagree, but as a snapshot of late 60s qualification logic, it was pragmatic, frugal, and decisive. Almost beautiful. To place Sudan-Zambia in the wider museum of odd deciders in World Cup history. 1954, Spain versus Turkey. They drew 2-2 over 2 legs and 2-2 again after extra time in a Rome playoff. No goal difference, no shootout. FIFA draw lots. A 14-year-old Italian boy draws Turkey's name from a bowl. Turkey went to Switzerland, Spain went home. The most literal luck of the draw in World Cup qualification history. In the qualification to the 1958 finals, Israel's opponents kept withdrawing in the Asia-Africa zone. FIFA says a team can't qualify without playing, so UEFA drew lots for a European opponent, and eventually Wales are picked. They beat Israel home and away, and from nowhere go to Sweden. Bureaucracy giveth, bureaucracy taketh away. And how about the match that wasn't in 1973 between Soviet Union and Chile? The first leg ended 0-0 in Moscow. The return leg was set for Santiago's Estadio Nacional, then a site of detentions under the new junta. The Soviet Union refused to travel. FIFA calls a walkover, and Chile kick off, dribble the ball into an empty net and advance. I'm not kidding. Look it up. In 2005, Uzbekistan versus Bahrain. The AFC playoff in Tashkent. Uzbekistan go 2-0 up from the penalty spot, but the referee saw an encroachment. The law says retake, but he gives Bahrain a goal kick instead. Uzbekistan protests. FIFA voids the game and orders a replay of the entire match. The reset ends 1-1. The Manama leg ended 0-0, and Bahrain advanced on away goals. An officiating error didn't just change a kick, it changed the outcome of the tie. In 2009, Egypt versus Algeria. The final night in Cairo, Egypt won 2-0. That result left both teams identical on points, goals difference, and goals scored across the group, and head-to-head provided no separation either. The CAF FIFA regulations then required a neutral venue playoff in Khartoum on November 18, in which Algeria won 1-0. The controversies around the two fixtures made it feel improvised, but the playoff was exactly what the rulebook prescribed. Finally, the 3 times Morocco and Tunisia have faced off in the World Cup qualification with, shall we say, unusual tiebreakers. First in 1961, the North African neighbors finished inseparable, and a coin toss in Palermo, Sicily, sent Tunisia on. Then in 1969, again, another coin toss, this time in Marseille. 16 months from Mexico 70, they tied yet again. This time, the toss favored Morocco. Same countries, same method, opposite outcome. And then finally in 1977, perhaps they ran out of coins to toss because they literally invented their modern solution between the same 2 nations in the qualification for the 1978 World Cup, the first penalty shootout in World Cup history. Football finally put the decider to the feet and not the air. Across 16 years, the same neighbors went from lots to coins to penalties. If you want a living museum of tiebreak evolution, it's Morocco versus Tunisia. Each of these is the sport sputtering towards fairness. Coin tosses to kickoffs with only one team on the field, to playoffs, away goals, and penalty shootout as tiebreakers. From odd ad hoc solutions to codified guardrails. The match between Sudan and Zambia on this day in 1968 sits like a hinge, an in-between rule that perhaps was clean at the time but sounds alien today, where the regulations and rulebook have codified almost every imaginable permutations. Better rules perhaps, but less quirks for all of us to talk about, sadly. That's all for the 8th episode of OTD, your daily dose of soccer history, Sudan versus Zambia and the smallest big rule you've never heard of. If you have corrections or odd rules you want us to talk about, email to otd@17lawsguy.com. Rate 5 stars and share with your favorite football completist. Tomorrow, November 9, Dean Winters and 3 red cards in one match day at Tannadice Park. See you then.